This video is brought to you by the good people over at patriotpost.us, the #1 stop on the internet for all things news and opinion related. A link to them will be in the description box, so when you head on over there, check them out and subscribe. Tell them I sent you. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about this now pretty much viral clip of the rapper Boosie talking about former NBA player Dwyane Wade's son, who is 12 years old and has come out as transgender. Now, I've spoken about this before, but you must see this clip. Now, be warned, there is some very strong language, a whole lot of cussing going on, so if you don't want to watch that, just, cover your ears or just make your way through it. But you got to see this clip so you can hear the sincerity and the passion in his voice. So after we get done watching that, I'll talk about what he said. I'll give you my 2 cents, my analysis, and then I'll wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
I gotta say something about this shit, bro. Dwyane Wade, you gone too fucking far, dog. That is a male, a 12-year-old. At 12, they don't even know what their next meal gonna be. They don't have shit figured out yet. He might meet a woman, anything, at 16 and fall in love with her. But his dick be gone. How you gonna, like, bro, you going too far, dog. Don't cut his dick off, bro. Like, bro, for real. If he gonna be gay, let him be gay. But don't cut his dick off, bro. Like, don't address him as a woman, dog. He's 12 years old. He's not up there yet. He hasn't made his final decisions yet. Don't cut his fucking dick off, Dwyane Wade, bro. You fucking tripping, dog. You tripping, dog. You tripping, dog.
All right, so you heard that, you saw that. Now, I got to start straight from the beginning. Boosie, you are right on point. These are the same things I was saying in my previous video, pretty much, without all the cussing and all the passion. But he's right on point. This is how many just regular Americans feel. We're not down with all this transgender stuff to the point where you're talking about children getting involved, okay? If you want to be an adult and you want to be gay, if you want to be a child and be gay, we're not necessarily against that. Okay, I don't think you should be, identifying as gay when you're that young, but we're not going to be so against that versus talking about somebody becoming transgender. That's a whole different thing. Okay, somebody might be gay and they might decide they don't want to be gay anymore. It's people that have been gay and they say, you know what, that's not my lifestyle. I'm not into that. I want to go over here now. And there's no judgment from me because you were in a place where you didn't want to be and you've been able to get up out of that and go somewhere else. That's your decision. But becoming transgender is a whole different ball of wax. You're 12 years old. Okay, now some are going to say, oh, you don't have to have the surgery to chop off your twig and berries to become transgender, but that's the eventual goal that many of them have. We've seen this before. This is not the first time where somebody underage has identified as transgender, and then when they got to be of a certain age, they had the surgery to cut off their thingamabobber. You understand what I'm saying? It was a show, I said it before, called I Am Jazz. I think it was on TLC. This was really sick and disgusting from the media. They put this boy on television, went through this whole so-called journey of being transgender, and then when they got to be 18, had the gender reassignment surgery. You don't want that for a young person because there's regret. People have emailed me. I've seen them on television. This is not an uncommon thing for people to go through the surgery and then regret it, to have the hormone replacement therapy at a young age, puberty blockers, and then regret it. Okay, this boy has not gone through puberty yet. He has not gotten his deep voice. He's not really built himself up yet. He's not had a growth spurt yet. He may feel like he's soft. He may feel like he's feminine, but he may not feel that same way in 2 years and 3 years and 4 years. Now, you done put them all out there on the internet, put them on TV. You done went on Ellen and talked about them. He may not feel that same way he does right now when he gets to be older. I mean, kids, they go through phases, all right? I've been through phases. Everybody's been through phases. At one point in my life, I was fat. I'm not going to stay fat forever or have surgery to remain fat, okay? Some people say, oh, fat acceptance. What if you don't want to be fat anymore? You know, a lot of these same people, they're talking about, oh, I'm fat and now I'm beautiful, this, that, and the third, went on and lost weight. Like Monique, she was, you know, real big back in the day, talking about all you skinny heifers, this, that, and the third. Now, you see her in the gym losing weight. It's because she was fat and she may have been wanting to, quote unquote, accept it at one particular point, but now she doesn't. People change. So don't make permanent decisions based upon how you feel right now, which could be temporary, especially when you're underage. It should be illegal for anybody under the age of 18 to call themselves transgender or to have their parents be co-signing it. This should be a form of child abuse, period. I don't care if the child is gay. I don't care if they're soft or feminine or whatever. Biology should be the name in the game when you're talking about people that are underage. Really, it should be the name in the game, period. Okay, but once you get to be an adult, you got free will to do certain things. Okay, you can consent to certain things like a sex change, like becoming transgender. Okay, when you get to be an adult, because if we just lower the bar for consent when it comes to sexual things for people that are under the age of 18 or 16 or 14 or 12, at what point do we stop that, number one? And number two, at what point do we say they can consent to other things like sex? Okay, if you are an adult and have sex with an underage person, you get locked up because that underage person cannot consent. If they cannot consent to sex, why can't they consent to being transgender? They can change their sex, but they can't have sex. But see, it's sick when I say that, and I don't believe in that. I think all of this is ridiculous and it's disgusting, but this is how the so-called progressives think. They think, okay, once we're able to get them transitioning at a young age, we can get them to consent to other things at a young age. Okay, this is the direction that they're heading in, and I don't think that anybody should be complicit in this. Really, people like Dwyane Wade, the 12-year-old boy that now says he's a girl, people like this are just puppets for the so-called progressive establishment to push forward their initiatives. It's really weird. You got the progressives trying to push birth control, which is, you know, just killing babies, really. 21 million black babies have been aborted since 1973 Roe v. Wade. 34% of all abortions in the United States are performed on black women, despite them only being 13% of the population as a total race in America. You know, like triple the population is the abortion rate. Places like New York City, you got more black babies that are aborted than born by a margin of like 6,500 to 7,000. You have depopulation from the abortion, from birth control, and then you're going to have the men get castrated at a young age before they can even decide where they're going to go to college, if they're going to get in the military, if they're going to get a tattoo. You can't even get a tattoo under 18, but you can change your gender under 18. You can decide that you want to be a whole different person at 18, under 18. What are we doing? I see the bigger picture. I like what Boosie said here, and it's going to take guys like that who don't care. They don't care about, you know, the politics behind it. They don't care about the LGBT people coming at them. They're not really afraid. You got real street guys that's out here talking about certain things. What are you really going to do to them? You going to lock them up for saying certain things? No, you're not. I got freedom of speech. You cannot lock me up for saying a thing like that. Okay, that is unconstitutional. You can't do it. You might want to blackball me or whatever, but I'm not even involved in your industry anyway. I'm out here in the street doing what I'm doing. So what you gonna do? And then we're black. Now you're gonna have to get involved with the racial part of it and stuff like that. You want to penalize me for saying the thing, but you want to talk about this guy over here who has a harsh sentencing for, I don't know, home invasion, breaking and entering and whatnot, but you want to get me in jail for less, and you can't do it because it's against the Constitution. It's going to be very interesting to see how that whole thing plays out. Some are just going to want to accept somebody for being part of the LGBT community, and they don't understand the full picture. But guys like Boosie, guys like me, even guys like rapper Young Thug, he said it on Twitter, God don't make mistakes. Many of us are not into this, and I got to add one last point here before I close. This is why a guy like Booty Gig, Edge, whatever his name is, this is why a guy like that will not necessarily succeed in the black community. If you're gay, that's one thing, but if that's like the core centerpiece of your message and you want to be for trans rights and stuff like that, you want to be an LGBTQ, ABCDEFG activist, that's when it's going to be a problem and people aren't really going to vote for you. We're not for all this stuff. You know, we're not necessarily so conservative to the point where nothing, no change is acceptable, but we're going to draw a line in the sand. When you're dealing with kids, when you're dealing with crazy extremist stuff like this, we're just not really with it. So if you want to have a platform of trans rights and all that kind of stuff, and you happen to be on a spectrum yourself, we're just not really feeling it too tough. And we're going to see the results of that in these primary elections and also in the general election. But aside from the politics, this is a human issue. Okay, it don't matter what color you are. You can be black, white, Puerto Rican, Kenyan stripe. Most human beings are not going to be down with children becoming transgender, children going to drag time, story hour, children dressing in drag, dancing, getting money thrown on them. We're just not for that. This is totally extreme. If you want to be an adult, you want to identify as the last piece of chicken on a hot summer day, you want to identify as diamonds and pearls, whatever you want, that's fine. That's your business, but leave them kids alone. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think that I'm correct? Do you think that Boosie is correct? Do you think that people in general are correct when they say, leave the kids out of it? Adults, if you want to do that, that's your business. I don't agree with that lifestyle. I'm not part of that lifestyle, but if you're an adult, knock yourself out, go for it, do whatever you want to do, but leave the children alone. Is that a thing that's too outrageous to ask? I don't understand. People are talking about, oh, well, people are mad about gender identity changing in the 12-year-old, but you push gender identity on children from the time they're born. It's like, no, there's no pushing any kind of gender identity on somebody when they're born. This is biology. You're born a boy or a girl. You have physical characteristics of a boy, physical characteristics of a girl that cannot change. Okay, it don't matter if you have surgery and stuff like that. A male will never be able to have a baby. A female will never be able to seed a baby. This is just biological fact, period. It's weird. One last thing. It's weird how the left will say, oh, you're denying science, talking about being a climate change skeptic. But then when I say a male cannot have a baby, all of a sudden they want to freak out. Science is on my side, sir, ma'am, zero, whatever you want to call yourself. Science is on my side, not on yours. Let's stick to the facts and let's not have the kids be involved in this madness. But whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.